So I think it's time that we talk about the League, the rise of the Abyssal. And to
Maybe
do that,
he's
I'd like
just
to hand things over
sensitive,
to
you
Mark.
know? Maybe that whole fiasco.
As you just saw, even though
with
there
the
are major
last,
changes to
like,
the campaign for this update,
this
we
interview,
want to make
he
sure
realized
that
it's
every
just
time you
people
come back
really
for an
fucking
expansion,
love the game. They don't
each
hate
area feels
him, they just
different
want the game
with
to be
something
good.
extra going on. It is really important to make sure your experience when returning between expansions is fresh and filled with new content. And the way we did this was through leagues. Every expansion we make has a league, which not only has a fresh economy, but also has
Yeah,
new
as long as you
content
guys are respectful
exclusively
and give good
available in that
feedback.
league.
Don't be
So,
like
let's
Palm
delve
or
into
whatever.
the details of what Path of Exile
Yeah, he
2's
looks hype.
first official league is bringing to the table.
Okay.
The Abyssal are a race that have mastery of
Oh
forbidden
my God,
magics
abyss
and
flicker
necromancy.
spiders.
They were thought to be extinct, but have merely been biding their time underground. You first encounter signs of the Abyssal in Clarefell, where you discover that during the night, weaker members of the Undead Legion have been attacking the encampment. The townsfolk require your help to investigate where the monsters are coming from and put a stop to their attacks.
Out there, ancient creatures, lurking beneath the surface.
As you proceed through Rayclast, you'll find fissures in the earth connected to larger pits. The monsters normally inhabiting the area are being affected by it, harmed by it even, having their souls eaten to strengthen the Abyssal underground. As you defeat the monsters, the fissure closes and Abyssal emerge, angered by you killing their food. Once all those fissures have been sealed,
it's like,
the pit activates.
I feel like everyone, everyone's had enough, dude. Actually, literally everyone has.
And more dangerous monsters reveal themselves, as hordes of Abyss will spew out from the pit to take your soul.
Abyss, but slower.
If you kill a magic pack, then magic Abyssal arise. If you kill a rare, then a rare monster will emerge from the pit, having absorbed some or all of its modifiers for itself.
Whoa.
This means the monsters
abyss
emerging will generally be more difficult and more rewarding,
Guys,
as
look into
each
the abyss
modifier
hole.
gives better rewards. If you are able to kill them all, the pit will seal shut. As each pit is closed, it reveals a potential reward. Abyssal troves will rise up out of the pits, allowing you to get some epic loot. Areas often contain many pits, with many fissures, and the amount goes up as you progress through the game, getting more intense. It doesn't stop there. When monster mods are absorbed, they have a chance to become infused with the dark necromancy, transforming them into abyssal modifiers. For example, you defeat this monster with the Mana Siphoner modifier. Their soul is eaten by the pit, and a rare monster emerges. The Mana Siphoner modifier has transformed into Soul Siphoner, and is now amplified in danger and reward.
Nah, I mean, they're gonna bring back all their old
pits
systems.
also interact with other monsters and mechanics.
Maybe.
If you defeat a rogue exile that's near one, it'll be revived as a Lichborn that has multiple abyssal modifiers.
We're never seeing
Lichborn
Tane
exiles
again.
even have their own unique jewel they can drop, if you are lucky enough to encounter and kill them. If an abyss spawns near a boss, killing it will summon a gigantic Giga Larvae creature.
Ew! Ew!
Monsters imprisoned in essences near abyssal pits are affected by the abyss too. They will come with an additional new essence item that can be used to craft your items. So, that's your bread and butter of the Abyssal League. Kill surface-dwelling monsters, kill the emerging abyssal, close the fissures, overcome pit encounters, and reap the rewards.
It was Abyss at
There's a
PoE
lot
1
more to
speed
this
and
league,
PoE
however.
2.
As
I
you
don't
complete
know.
abysses, you can find ancient pieces of bone, preserved from the remains
The
of
pit
fallen
looks awesome,
Lichborn.
though.
These are one of the many rewards for your mission to seal the pits. You can use this on a rare item to imbue it with abyssal magic, adding a special hidden modifier to your item.
Okay.
But how do you reveal it?
Yeah.
In Act 2 of the campaign, you'll encounter a new area.
No, just make me right-click it.
This area is overrun by the Abyssal and the Lost Men.
Fuck!
After clearing through this area, you'll find the Well of Souls, a giant cavity with a massive vortex of souls swirling beneath you.
That looks cool.
So how do you reveal the mods on your Abyssal-infused items? Obviously, just throw them in, right? Yes, that's exactly what you do.
Done.
Before
R.I.P.
throwing it in, you are given the option of how you want to transform it. in the form of a choice of 3 different modifiers.
Okay.
Once you've chosen your desired mod, throw it in, where it will absorb the power of the souls, and the ominous creature
Kale?
will then retrieve it for you. These modifiers can be ones
What's
from
that
the
little
core
guy
mod
doing
pool,
back there?
all the way through to specialized
What
modifiers
is he
that
doing?
cannot
Oh my
normally
god, he
appear
brought
on
the
items.
bow up! Oh my
During
god!
the campaign, you can use it as a way to more
heck?
easily add useful existing mods, but during the endgame, there is a whole set of new and powerful mods you can add to your items. Like this mod for crossbows that allows you to place an additional ballista totem,
That's cute.
or this one that adds spirit to your staff, or this one that allows you to generate more combo with your
Hanson.
quarterstaff skills. And speaking of endgame, you can also use the system to craft waystones. With a
Oh,
preserved vertebrae fused into your waystones, you can get some new modifiers that push difficulty and rewards to new heights. Here
He's
are some
just a
examples of
worm.
those
Ooh.
mods. You always get a choice of 3, so you can avoid anything you don't think your character is capable of. With this modifier, the natural inhabitants of the area are all spawned near abysses, and there are up to 9 additional abyssal pits in the area, making it just a full-on abyss ruckus. Or this one, which causes the final abyssal pit in the area to always result in a boss encounter, be it either one underground or one that emerges out.
ooh.
There are dozens of these waystone
Ruckus.
modifiers in total you can get from this crafting.
I will not be pushing
That
Mana
covers
Ground
the new
soon.
crafting
Soon.
mechanic. So what's left? Well, we talked about how when closing pits you can get abyssal troves, but sometimes when closing an abyss, you'll reveal an underground cavern that leads to the abyssal depths.
Somebody, we
After
gotta
jumping
get
into
some
the
salt
depths,
and
you'll
some
find an
sage and use
abyssal
it on
city,
steel.
swarming with legions of the undead.
I think he might actually
When underground,
explode.
every single
from
rare
the
abyssal
heat.
enemy will have an abyssal modifier. And at the end of the dungeon, you'll even find a rare with a more powerful
No,
Lich Born
actually,
modifier.
we're just gonna push him into the pit.
Once you're
Sacrificing
able to defeat
steel.
this powerful rare, you can also find some nice rewards. Aside from the entire area being valuable due to the abyssal modifiers on the monsters, it has its own specific drops too. One example is a set of lineage supports that can rarely be found in these depths, like Kurgle's Leash. This support empowers both you and your minions when you command them, granting unholy might to you both. Another depths-specific outcome is a set of omen-like items that amplify your abyssal crafting.
New orbs?
Additionally, we're adding some new socketables that can drop from the abyssal depths. Take Ullaman's Gaze, which can be socketed into your armor. These are a bit special, in that you can only have one equipped at a
I know.
time.
Where's Anne?
give some
Anne
pretty
suddenly
powerful
disappeared.
effects.
Wait a minute.
Think of them as almost a unique socketable for your equipment. In the endgame, where you can still find depths, you also start to find a different type of underground chamber. In these areas, you'll find an ancient spire,
Oh.
a device being
Oh
used by
shit,
commanders
primordial
of the abyssal
blocks.
factions to plunge Rayclast into a lightless void.
What?
Your goal is simple. Kill this commander and destroy the spire. There are 4 bosses in the Abyss League, and there are some pretty cool
New
uniques
belt,
available
new belt,
from
new
them.
belt.
An
Darkness
example
Enthroned
is
belt.
this belt, Darkness Enthroned. It has 2 sockets. But hold on, socketables don't work on belts. Well, this belt has a special mod that allows it to count as a different slot for the purpose of
Yeah, hollow
socketables.
palm sounds cool, right, Kale?
This one, for example, counts as a helmet. I kind of want one that counts as a body armor. I wonder how rare that one is. You can also find this unique jewel, Undying Hate. This jewel transforms part of
Oh
your
shit,
passive
this is
skill
for
tree
Anne and
into an
steel.
abyssal
Probably more for
version,
steel though.
and has multiple depths. The deeper it goes, the more of your passive tree is affected, allowing you to fulfill your fantasy of becoming part Abyssal Lich. Now, the last thing that Abyssal commanders can drop is a Finger of the Lich.
Oh,
But
fingers.
what use do you have with a
Elden Ring
random undead
mentioned?
finger? Well, the next time you return to the Well of Souls,
Okay.
with the finger in your inventory,
Uh-huh.
your character will almost feel compelled. To do what, though, you might ask?
I don't know.
To
Jump off this
in.
fucking ledge, probably.
The items you threw in came
I
back
knew
more
it!
powerful, right?
I knew it! Jump
So,
off the
what's
ledge!
the
I
worst that
fucking
could
knew
happen?
it! It's Kermit
Well,
jumping time,
you'll
guys.
just have to find that one out for yourself. Along with the introduction of Act 4 and the interlude, we will be adding 25 new in-game maps. These maps will contain all the new monsters and bosses we're adding, improving variety and giving you opportunities to experience the new boss fights many times. Let's take a look at some examples.
I'll jump without the
Rock Pools
thingy.
is a map where you explore a shallow rocky coastline, surrounded by coral and filled with sirens. At the end is a giant Goblin King boss, ready to eat sulfite and squish you like a bug.
Ew!
Holton is an Ezomite township which has seen better days. Explore and clear the township to find a gothic, Reaper-like boss, with the ability to manipulate storms and fry you with both lightning and wither you with chaos.
No, don't fry me, dude.
Given some of the new bosses added are a bit more epic, such as the Act boss and final bosses of each interlude part, it would be a bit of a waste to just use them as regular map bosses. Instead, we'll be adding some new mechanics to
that?
the Atlas that use them.
Good! Good,
These
because they
start
have so
appearing
much cool
pretty
water
fast into
areas.
the
There should be
endgame
something
and
neat
will help
by
bridge the
them.
gap until you do your pinnacle bosses. In the desert biome, you can
Crab
encounter
boil
a
me.
wild
Ah.
sandstorm. 3 maps around the sandstorm contain a device you must activate. Upon doing this, the sandstorm's magic is disrupted, revealing the map inside and allowing you to access it and find the cause. This presents itself in the form of a boss, similar to the existing Citadel bosses. This boss is a Faradin Swordmaster, who has been blessed with the power of a time gem, allowing him to take his swordsmanship to the next level by replicating himself, maneuvering rapidly, and severing the fabric of time itself with his powerful slashes.
Pain champ.
In the water biome, you'll encounter a giant maelstrom, where one
Just
of the
let
maps
it
surrounding the
embrace
water
you,
biome
okay,
connects to
Steel?
it,
It's
but the
okay.
connection is obscured. You must run the maps nearby, hoping to find a beacon, which will remove the maelstrom and reveal the connection to that map. Another example is this Vaal vault in the mountain biome.
Ooh.
But how do we get inside?
Yeah, how?
Running the adjacent maps to it will yield a key, which you can then use to gain access to this vault.
Okay.
Or, you could just trade for one, I guess. Use the key to dispel the powerful force field surrounding it, leading to the Vaal Elite and their rewards inside.
Huh.
These all contain Uber versions of the Act 4 boss, and the bosses at the end of each
No,
part
don't
of the interlude.
sacrifice me.
And each have their own exclusive drop pool of new lineage supports, which, as Jonathan spoke about earlier, are powerful support gems that modify
But
your
you can
skills
buy
in
'em.
pretty crazy ways. As an example of a lineage support which can come from the Faradin Swordmaster mentioned earlier, we have Garukhan's Resolve,
Bifurcates? Did
which
they just make up
causes
a
your
word?
critical strikes to fork, but requires some mobility on your part to properly enable. From the boss sealed in the Vaal Vault,
Welcome
we
back,
have the Quartes
Err.
Pact,
It's
which supports
been
your
going
war
paw
cries,
crazy.
causing them to inflict massive amounts of corrupted blood at the cost of your own life. Additionally, some maps can now spawn summoning circles, a room resembling an
Yeah.
Ezomite henge. Activating this
Yeah,
henge will
dude.
spawn bosses. It's as simple as that. We'll also be making changes to how affixes and waystones work. As the current prefixes equals good, suffixes
Yeah,
equals
it's
bad,
a PoE2
iteration
login.
isn't quite hitting the mark.
Dude, it really is.
We tried something new here in Path of Exile 2, but after seeing the feedback, we decided we actually liked what we had in Path of Exile 1 more.
I believe in you, Wong.
Like Path of Exile 1, each affix will now be both difficult and rewarding. Waystone mods now grant an increase to the number of waystones dropped, and an additional specific upside attached to it.
Oh my god.
This means as you roll your
I'm
map,
gonna
they will
put
continue
Err
to get more
and Steel into a
difficult
pot.
and more rewarding, and allow you to
boil
customize the
them up.
difficulty and rewards of your maps better. For example, the Frostbitten mod, which causes enemies to deal cold damage, also increases the rarity of items dropped as its upside. Whereas the Of Venom suffix modifier, which causes enemies to poison on hit, has the upside of
No, I'm
granting
forcing you to play
increased
with
pack
this, Err.
size.
Shut up.
Some maps will end up having a lot of rarity, some a lot of pack size, and others will just have a mixture of everything. Due to now having more modifiers granting difficulty, we will of course be reducing the difficulty
Yeah,
per modifier to account for this. So, that's your Atlas, maps, and Waystones, but what about Breach, Ritual, Pinnacle content, and others of the sort?
Slurp.
We're making some changes around
There's
this
hella
too.
new areas.
The first change is that you'll
You
now
missed
be
so
able to
much,
invest
Harry.
2 points into your
Don't worry,
specific
we'll
League
rewatch it
Atlas
again.
trees before having to run the Pinnacle content. There will be a specific objective for each type of content which grants you those points.
Omni.
For example, in the case of Delirium, it's simple. You just need to find and kill one of the bosses in a map, Omniphobia or Kosis. The rest of the points for each content come from the Pinnacle content, but we're making some changes to accessibility here too. Currently, access to most Pinnacle content requires the same key at the easiest and most difficult version of the content. This creates a negative feeling where at lower difficulties, instead of wanting to run the content, you're often better off just selling it to someone who can run it at maximum difficulty. To address this, each content will now drop splinters, which will not form into singular items. Instead of using the singular combined item in the Realm Gate, you can now just bring your splinters. Upon inserting the splinters into the Realm Gate,
Okay.
an interface will appear, allowing you to pick your difficulty, and you'll notice each difficulty has a different entry cost. This means if you want to run easier difficulties, it costs less, which also allows you to run this content much sooner into the endgame. Because these encounters now just require splinters, their corresponding Atlas tree no longer affects the difficulty of them, and has been changed to purely affect the content and maps on the Atlas. The Arbiter of Ash works a bit differently. Instead of requiring splinters, he still needs crisis fragments. We now have only 2 difficulties of the Arbiter.
Oh.
The first, requiring the existing fragments obtained from citadels. The second, Uber Arbiter, requires calamity fragments. These come from citadel bosses also, but only once you've allocated the maximum number of points in your boss Atlas tree, ensuring those citadels are at their highest difficulty level.
Man.
Since we're talking about Pinnacle content, we also felt that the leveling curve in the late game was a bit too steep. We've smoothed this out a bit so that it's easier to get to the mid-90s. We've also added some new in-game unique items. Let's take a look at a couple. Thunderfist is a pair of gloves that grants Crackling Palm, a skill which empowers your unarmed attacks, granting the ability to call down the storms themselves on enemies you hit. Put simply, literally every monster you hit with your unarmed skills will be struck by powerful lightning. Pair this with the aforementioned Hollow Palm technique to embrace your true unarmed prowess in
Dude,
combat.
Hollow Palm sounds so sick.
Another unique we're adding is
Oop.
Hinekura's Sight. Equip this amulet to be granted the power of the Mother of Death herself. This is reflected by granting you a skill called Foresight. While you have Foresight, your dodge roll no longer avoids hits. But instead, being hit while dodge rolling restores you to full life and makes you unable to die for a brief period of time. You'll notice when this does occur, a copy of your character appears and takes the full damage. This is you seeing that future, as if you hadn't been wearing the amulet.
Didge.
Ultimately, your in-game experience should be more streamlined. With new content to find, you'll be able to invest in your Atlas trees sooner, engage with Pinnacle content faster, have less FOMO running said Pinnacle content, reach higher levels easier, and do all of that while finding many
There's
new
Act
chase
4,
in-game
and
items.
instead of doing Act 1 through 4 again,
Talking about
it's
finding
3
items is one
interlude
thing,
areas
but what
that
about
you
crafting
can
them?
choose how you want to go to
We've
it.
taken a step back and looked at some of our crafting systems to make some notable improvements. Let's start with essences, which suffered from an issue where the regular essences were effectively useless and didn't give players the tools or excitement that a crafting system should provide. To alleviate these concerns, essences are being changed in a few ways.
Okay.
Firstly, they're being changed to function like regals and add specific modifiers with specific values, meaning you know exactly what you're going to get. We found that players were often bottlenecked by regal orbs when crafting in the campaign, so this helps to fill that gap, allowing you to better upgrade your items. For example, this Lesser Essence of Flames, which will be able to add a flat amount of fire damage to your magic martial weapons. Secondly, we're adding many more tiers. That Lesser Essence of Flames, for example, has a regular variant and a greater variant too, adding even more fire damage with each upgrade. The intention of this is so that when you find one early on, you don't worry about holding on to it till later to use on a higher level item. You should feel free to use them as they come to get powerful upgrades during the campaign.
Oh my god. People are mad when they don't use PoE
our
1
highest tier of
systems.
essences, now called Perfect Essences, will function like a Chaos Orb instead
Mad
of a Regal.
when they are
So
using
it will
them.
replace one of the modifiers on your rare items with the specified mod. Such as this Perfect Essence of Flames. You'll notice this one doesn't just add flat fire damage like the ones before it. The Perfect Essences often give something a bit different, with some opportunities to be pretty damn powerful. There are many different essences, each with many tiers, covering many of the more core modifiers you'd want on items early on, through to chase specialized ones for in-game. Speaking of in-game, we really wanted to expand our crafting options for late in-game crafting projects.
Okay.
You might have noticed that at in-game, you get way too many transmutes.
Only glad.
Wouldn't it be nice if some of those
Good.
didn't drop?
I
but
only have so
instead you
much
got
room
something
in
a
my
little
witch's
more powerful?
cauldron to cook people up.
At higher levels, you can now find Greater Orb of Transmutation and Perfect Orb of Transmutation.
What the heck?
These can be used on normal items to upgrade them to magic, ensuring that the modifier generated is of a minimum level. This is similar to how you find higher tier items on the ground, but for crafting. These higher tiers will also exist for Orb of Augmentation, Regal Orb, Exalted Orb, and Chaos Orb, meaning you can get all of the orbs required to take your item from normal rarity to a fully completed rare with guaranteed high tier mods. On top of these
Scourless.
new core crafting currencies, we wanted to make sure there are powerful crafting bases to use them on. Now in endgame, you can start to find exceptional items. These are items that drop at normal rarity and are perfect for your from-scratch crafting projects. They can come with extra quality, up to 30%, or an additional socket to use your crafting socketables in. And yes, they can be corrupted for yet another socket. You can also get exceptional unique items. To add even further to your crafting arsenal, we've added a whole suite of new omens to ritual content, and removed some of the more unimpactful ones that weren't being used. Some of the new omens include the Omen of the Ancients, which will cause your next Orb of Chance to not destroy the item,
Okay.
but generate a random unique of the same class.
What?
Or the Omen of Sanctification, which is my new favorite. This will cause your next Divine Orb used on a rare item to reroll the values of its modifiers, allowing it to exceed the normal minimum and maximum values, raising the ceiling on the new most powerful rare items in the game. This omen will also cause your item to become sanctified. Sanctified items cannot be crafted, just like corrupted ones, so consider carefully when you use this. Another is the Omen of Chaotic Monsters, which will cause your next Chaos Orb to reroll all modifiers on a Waystone, allowing you to fix your maps if you get some modifiers that are not feasible for your build. Besides these examples, there is a huge variety of new omens for you to discover in your ritual encounters.
I just hope that you can actually find these
With the
omens.
release of Act 4, notably taking place in the Kardori Archipelago, you'll be able to now find a new currency item, Henikora's Lock. Henikora, the Kardori goddess of
Henikora.
death, has the power of foresight and is able to see many futures, including the outcome of your next craft. So, imbuing her lock onto an item gives you that same power too. For example, you'll know whether or not to use an Exalted Orb on your item, as you will know exactly what the outcome is. So, with all these new crafting improvements, it's
Hi,
safe
Mac.
to say you're going to be
People
making
are
some
so
epic
funny.
items. And
funny,
not
I'm telling you.
necessarily just ones for yourself. So given that, it's time to
Why
talk
do they
about
have
a
10
massive
years
one.
of systems and then they're
Trade.
starting over from scratch?
It's
I can't believe they're
finally
using
here.
stuff from
the
the other
moment
game.
we've all been
Its
waiting
Majesty.
for. Fully asynchronous trade.
Over
Dude,
the
this
years,
is so
the way players
sick!
trade with each other in Path of Exile 1 has morphed from using the forums, through to the in-game chat, all the way through to using the website. These systems, in all their iterations, work for a while, But with each iteration, new problems eventually reveal themselves. Be it requiring you to be in your hideout too much instead of out there killing monsters, or never getting responses from people who are either AFK or just can't be bothered. In order to finally solve this, and this has been a long time coming, we're adding a new system that allows you to buy items from other players without requiring the seller to be present. They can continue farming, killing monsters, AFK as they please.
Oh my lord.
And can even be offline. With the introduction of King's March in Act 4, you will encounter Ange, assistant to Rog in the Meridian Free Traders Company. Over the last 2 decades or so, since Path of Exile 1's storyline, Faustus has handed down his knowledge and expertise to Ange, and she is now ready to take over his business. If you have a hideout unlocked already, you can immediately invite her there.
They did say.
If you don't have a hideout yet, you will need to acquire one. You can do this by completing a quest to defeat one of the bosses inhabiting an island in Act 4. Allowing you then to take a slice of it for yourself.
That they would do
making it your
this
new
type
home
of thing in
and base of
PoE 2
operations.
first. Before implementing
Once
it in
invited to
PoE
your
1.
hideout, she will now
Look,
serve
it's
as
Anne!
operating your currency exchange, but also serve as the figurehead in your new trading empire. So, how does this new system work? In the existing trade system, you would list items for sale in premium stash tabs.
Okay.
And then when someone wanted one, you'd have to take it out for yourself and trade it to them. Now, instead of using those, you can give your items to Ange so she can sell them for you. Each item must have a price set.
Okay.
The prices are set using in-game currency items, such as Exalted Orbs or Chaos Orbs. Once a price is set, other players will be able to find the item by searching for it on the trade website. Once a desired item has been found, you can hit a button, which will instantly teleport your character in-game to their hideout. Then, you can immediately purchase the item, and while there, if you want, browse their other goods, in case there's a good deal someone else hasn't yet discovered. You'll notice that as a buyer, on top of the
get in,
currency
loser,
the
we're
seller
going
set for the
shopping.
price, it also costs gold to purchase an item, as Ange has bills to pay after all. As a seller, you'll immediately receive a notification when an item of yours is sold, and can also see an effect above Ange in your hideout when she has unclaimed currency. Just go talk to her, claim
Yeah,
your
gold lock.
currency,
I mean, you know,
and
everything's gonna be
continue
fucking
playing at
gold
your
locked,
leisure.
dude. You're not gonna let us do it for free.
As many people already acquired premium stash tabs for the purpose of the trade system, we wanted to add a way for you to convert your existing
Noticing Chris
tabs
Wilson no
to
longer
merchants
here.
tabs, if you want. You can do that here, on the website,
Oh,
but only if you purchase those tabs before the release of the third edict.
what?
To clarify, the existing trade system will remain fully intact, so your premium stash tabs will not lose any of their functionality. We just figured people might want to switch over to this new system. We expect a lot of feedback around this new system and are looking forward to trying it out with you.
Steal.
As we are not able to test internally with an entire, thriving economy, there will certainly be some kinks to work out. Based on how the system goes, we will be adding it to Path of Exile 1 when ready, so
See?
any of the tabs you purchase
See?
will also be usable there later. Next up, we're going to be talking about our new supporter packs.
Yeah, they said we have to buy.
Today,
well, it
we're
starts with a
launching
couple,
2
I
new
guess,
series
right?
of
Do you
supporter
have any?
packs.
Yeah,
The
Sork looks
Justice
really good.
and Trafen
Arahan.
Executioner packs.
Ooh.
Each tier contains the pack's full face
I
value
want that
in
guy on
points,
the left. I'm
alongside
blocking him. I'm
several
sorry.
exclusive
What is a little
microtransactions.
chicken?
As always, the microtransactions in these packs are purely cosmetic and do not affect your character's power or progression in any way. The Justice series of supporter packs contains 6 exclusive
Is it a chicken?
microtransactions. Claim
Mythical
glory
chicken.
after defeating enemies, or inspire your allies by calling down the Banner of Justice portal. The Sphinx Mystic hideout decoration will identify items for you,
Ooh, he looks so
displaying them as it
cool.
does so. This ancient creature has been presented with many items over the eons, so has some strong expressions to make on the quality of your wares. Become a true warrior, worthy of delivering the justice of the eternal gods, with the Apostle of
You don't
Justice
like
armor
long
set.
necks?
This armor set also
much
comes
room
with
for
a matching
necklaces.
back attachment containing a set of scales to measure your worth. With the Apostle of Justice finisher effect equipped, the Goddess of Justice herself will appear to decide on a verdict for slain unique enemies. Witness as she decides the fate of your slain foes. Will they ascend to be amongst the gods or be banished to the underworld? The Griffin fledgling pet will be a courageous companion as you journey throughout
You can convert
Raidwast.
them. They said you have to, if you want, you have to buy tabs, right?
Take your
Before
place
it
in the
launches.
skies in the Plateau of the Gods hideout.
Bro, they're
This hideout
scamming
comes
us.
with many different sections for setting up your home or base of operations.
It's so pretty.
In order to travel between them, you simply just need to walk off the edge.
What?
Like a true eternal god, you can float between the mountains on the clouds themselves. The Trathan Executioner pack series also contains 6 exclusive microtransactions. The Trathan Executioner finisher effect is a brutal display of Trathan might, crushing slain unique enemies as if they were bugs beneath
I
your
don't think
heel.
we'll ever. Or maybe we'll get loot pets.
As a Trathan Executioner, you're the perfect master for the ever-hungry carrion raptor pet.
I thought he
It
said
has
you can
taken a
convert
particular
tabs.
liking to the taste of other pets, and at your command,
I thought
it
you
will
said you can
swoop
convert
down
tabs
and
or-
eviscerate them,
Buy tabs.
proceeding to satisfy its hunger by feeding on their corpse. The nobles of the 4 major Trathan houses had their mercenaries,
That
but if
is
their
a
hired
cool
hands
armor
became
set.
notably irritating, they'd have to call in the Trathan Executioners. You can now embrace their methods and become brutality incarnate with the cruel Trathan
Can, but you have to
Executioner
ask
armor
for
set.
it.
The matching cruel Trathan Executioner cloak will shroud you in scarlet as you crush the
gross.
skulls of your enemies and leave a trail of blood behind you as you build up a kill streak. Or use the alternate variant to simply put a skeleton on your back. Be bathed in blood as you mutilate
Yeah.
monsters with the cruel Trathan Executioner character effect. The swirling blood increases in volume as your spree of slaughter continues. Both this effect and the cloak use the same kill streak for tracking how much blood is shown. After a long and tiring day of executions, enjoy a relaxing game of dice with the Goblin Gambler's Hideout decoration. They'll definitely be playing fair, right? The Pulverizer map device brings a horrid efficiency to punishing the damned of Trathis. Each map you open will execute the next victims.
Relax.
This map device in its true ruthlessness tracks the total number of monsters killed, your kills
don't
per
know,
second,
actually,
and your
TBD.
largest kill streak up to the point
I'm
of the
sure
map being
Ziggy
completed.
D is going to ask these
This
questions.
is then displayed on a leaderboard
Rage.
so you can take a measure of you and your friends' violence at the end of each map. Additionally, any microtransactions from the supporter packs will be made available for use in Path of Exile 1,